And I believe that's true. Of course, Grosse Ile also was before here because they came through Grosse Ile. But one of the things that people might not realize, because they have busy lives and this is not their main focal of their day-to-day duties, is this also happens to be one of the most desecrated sites from the Irish famine, from the Great Hunger. And it's been desecrated almost literally from just past 1847, and it was only in 1859 when the Irish were building the Victoria Bridge, and they had a very tight schedule because it had to be unveiled for Victoria's Jubilee. So when the Irish started finding bodies, they said, whoa, we're not rushing through until there's a suitable memorial at somewhere in this site for the 6,000 people who perished. Now, there's not necessarily 6,000 under our feet, but the 6,000 is the story of those who came to Montreal, which started at the Wellington Basin, which my very good friend Donovan King will be able to entertain and educate you at the same time with some fantastic stories, which I'll let him get because he's more fun than I am. But in 1859, they dragged this boulder behind me, which is a stone, not a rock, and they put it up here in 1859 to a fairly decent ceremony, but nothing close to what you'd expect for an occasion as important as that. It was 1859, not long after the actual Great Hunger, so the tragedy was still very vivid in the memories of many, many people, but the ceremony itself did not attract what you would think it would attract. In 1868, which is again not far from 1859, the Ancient Order of Hibernians from New York were down for a visit because it was the Ancient Order of Hibernians in America, in all of North America at that time. There was no Canada. So in 1868, they came for a visit, and all the area that you see here was just mud. There was no buildings, there was no infrastructure, nothing. It was just mud. And what they saw, they brought a bishop to visit, and what they saw was horrifying. The land was overgrown. You could barely see the stone. One of the people remarked, this is a land that has not seen human feet for many, many years. And it was so terrible that the Ancient Order of Hibernians at the time arranged for a complete cleanup. And then they instituted the first Requiem Mass for the 6,000 that are buried in